Hey guys, it's Justin here in the Summit Racing studio with our trusty 1987 Monte Carlo SS project car that we like to call Project Prodi-G. And we have some big news, folks. We're getting ready to install our 5.3 LS crate engine. Now, this isn't just any crate engine either. This is a Summit Racing 5.3 liter long block, complete with a set of 799 heads and a really good roller cam. This thing is based off a Gen 3 LM7 LS, and we have it dressed out with all sorts of goodies, like an ATI balancer, a fast intake and fuel rails, and we even have a vintage air front runner engine drive system. All told, this thing has a 10-to-1 compression ratio, which will allow it to easily drink up pump gas while still delivering serious performance that will humble the original 305 that was found under the hood. And to help get our LS settled in its new home, we have some great parts as well. Starting off with a set of ICT billet engine mounts that will allow us to adapt to the factory GM mounts. And then to connect our motor to our transmission, we have a Lakewood bell housing adapter that will allow us to bolt our modern LS to our original 200R, along with a bunch of tips and tricks along the way to help with any LS swap you're doing. Whether it be a Monte Carlo or anything else, we have some stuff that'll help you along the way. So enough talking about it, let's get this motor in the car. We've made a ton of progress getting the motor and transmission right at home in this thing. And so just to kind of run you guys through some of the stuff we did is obviously the 204R is in it, cross members in it, our bell housing bolts are in and torqued. I got our shift interlock all hooked back up. And that was the cool part about this is, if you guys don't know a lot about G-bodies, is that with the console shifter and everything and how the shift control works is it's all mechanical rods that go up to the steering column, and we wanted to make sure all that stuff worked and retained it. So we used the ICT billet crank snout adapter to adapt the old style GM transmission to the LS. So what that does, and the big difference is there's some spacing issues here where if you didn't use this, the converter snout would not sit in the end of the crank and it would just rely on the torque converter bolts to hold this all together, and that doesn't work. Things wobble and you'll break some parts. So you use that adapter, get all this together, and it fit amazing. Now, some of the other things that we want to accomplish is I want to get the rear drive shaft made because, you know, we're going to be making a ton more power now, and I think a new drive shaft is a good idea. I want to get the accessory drive hung and then start working into more hard parts, like getting the headers on and that kind of stuff. So we're making a ton of progress. There's tons of cool stuff to still happen, so keep following along. So we're moving right along with our LS swap, and we're getting our cooling system figured out. Now, going from a small block Chevy to an LS, there is a couple changes, beginning with our radiator. With a small block Chevy radiator, the inlets and outlets for the radiator are on opposite corners. With an LS, they're both on the passenger side, right where our factory GM transmission cooler is. So our new radiator does not have a transmission cooler, but having one is very important. So we got with the folks over at Duraley and picked up one of these Duraley plate coolers. Now this thing has a couple quart capacity, so it will allow us to keep our transmission temperatures right in check, and it installs super easy as well. They literally give you everything in the box to add an auxiliary cooler or a primary cooler to your vehicle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this thing on the front of our AC condenser and then use the cool plastic pull-through tabs that came in the box to attach it. Then 2 hoses right to our transmission lines will get this thing all hooked up. And not to mention, there is great instructions in the box if you have any questions on how to install it on your ride. So let's get to it. So we're doing some more plumbing today, and we're plumbing our power steering system and our oil cooler. So to get our power steering stuff figured out, I picked up a Summit Racing power steering kit, and we're going from our Detroit Speed steering box to our Type 2 GM pump, which you find on a lot of LSs. Originally, this car came with a Type 1 style pump. So we're going to be using some of our Summit Racing PTFE hose along with our PTFE fittings. And the way I kind of map this out is I'll go ahead and put the fittings on there and kind of point them in the general direction that I want. So with this and our power steering line, both these lines, the high pressure stuff, I have pointing back. So I have a 45 on here. This one should kind of come up and wrap down and go into this one. And then for our low pressure return, I have 2 90s, and then I'm just gonna kind of do a loop here. And this kind of just allows me to build it out in my head. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna yank the fittings off, get the hose put on one side of the fittings, kind of loop it into place, mark it, and then trim it, cut it, and put the fittings together. So I'm gonna head to the bench and do that. And our power steering hoses are now complete. Now I'm just double checking the fitment here. I have good clearance around everything. It's not too close to the steering shaft, not too close to the header. And the nice part about these is if I ever need a replacement hose, I don't have to wait on one, any of that deal, I can build my own. Now that our power steering hoses are done, we're back on our oil cooler. Now to hook up to our factory transmission lines, I've gone ahead and cut them back a little bit, reflared them, and I've got these AN to 5/16 inverted flare adapters. I'm gonna go ahead and put some AN hose barbs on these. I'm gonna put some nice covering on these to give them some abrasion protection and keep them from getting a hole rubbed in them. So let's get to it. So we have our cooler lines all prepped. We have our fittings on. Our hoses ran and sheathed. Got some hose clamps here. Just right over those. They fit really well. Now I am gonna make a bracket to secure these. And I'll show you guys kind of that process when I get to it. But it'll just be a nice mount up here, something a simple aluminum L, just to keep these lines in place and give them another solid mount besides what they have back there with the transmission. Perfect. Like I said, those are now nice and secured. That's all plumbed. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a bracket that sits right about here that'll hold those just like that. And the nice part about our AM fittings here now is that they're truly quick disconnect. So If we have to ever take our cooler off or service our trans, those are really easy to take off. So now that our power steering lines and transmission cooler lines are hooked up, our next big accomplishment in getting the engine install done is getting our radiator mounted, our fan shroud, and our fans. I can't wait to show you guys the fans and fan control that we're using. They're really slick, and my favorite part about the fans is the cool blade design, and we'll touch more on that once we get the radiator in. We've made a ton of progress on this thing, as the engine and transmission are in their final home, the accessory drive's done, we've started plumbing, all the power steering stuff is done, our oil cooler is installed, we're ready for a radiator hoses, fans, fan shroud, we're about finished up with all our engine stuff. But one of the things we need to address is our valve cover situation. So originally, you guys saw I put this motor together outside of the car. We went down to Trick Flow, we dynoed it, and I used these awesome black Summit Racing valve covers. Now, I really like these ones because they're stock height and they have a really cool coil mounting provision on top. The coils bolt right to the top of the valve covers. Now, one of the things that I ran into is because our Monte Carlo has heat and AC, it has a heater box here in the cabin. So the issue is the fourth coil on the passenger side actually hits the heater box. So these valve covers are not going to work for our application. An application like a square body or a car where you have a little more open under hood room, or it's a race car and you don't have a heater box, these valve covers would work amazing and they look great. So I looked at some other options. My original idea was I was gonna build a mount here, use some Holley remote mount coil brackets, and I was gonna mount all our coils up on the firewall. But I grabbed another set of Summit Racing smooth valve covers. These ones are a little bit taller, so they clear like a larger, more aggressive rocker for large lift camshafts and large rocker ratios. But then again, I'm very size limited on this side, so I could not get the nice polished valve cover to fit on this side and not hit the heater box. So looking through the Summit Racing catalog some more, that's the cool part, is we have tons of Summit Racing branded parts. I picked up a set of these Summit Racing Pro LS. These are our race style valve covers. Now, if you look at these, they have a very odd shape, and that's to clear large rockers. And this is kind of more of a race car style part, but you see a ton of these engines in race cars. So I picked these up, and my favorite part about them is you can see they're drilled and tapped on the surface here. They supply you with these awesome coil mounting brackets, and these come with or without these. So if you want to use remote mount coils or something else and want this style valve cover, they come in a non-drilled and tapped finish as well. So they include these nice little, I'm going to call these like T-brackets that your coils bolt to, and then these bolt right to the valve covers. Obviously I have to take this apart to get it attached, but I just want to show you guys kind of what it would look like. So by mounting our coils here, it's going to get them up and out of the way and allow us to mount our coils to the valve covers and run a stock style LS coil wire versus a make your own wire set. So these valve covers are super cool. They're cast aluminum. They come in 3 different colors and have a bunch of cool features built right in. So head over to Summit Racing and pick yourself up a set of Pro LS valve covers today like we did. Now let's go ahead, get these old valve covers off, get these ones on so we can see how they look. So with our cold case radiator in and our Flexolite fans mounted, the engine install is basically finished up. I have a bunch of odds and ends and little jobs I don't want to bore you guys with, but I showed you some of the highlights and the major steps to make LS swapping your Monte Carlo or anything just a little bit easier. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Summit Racing YouTube channel so you don't miss out on more of Project Prodigy or any of the other cool stuff we're doing. Next up, we're going to be wiring this thing, firing the engine, seeing how it sounds, and updating the interior. And make sure to like and subscribe to the Summit Racing YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any episodes of Project Prodigy or any of the other cool stuff we're doing. So until next time, I'm Justin with Summit Racing, and what are you working on?